What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. I'm back with another one here for you. Thank you guys so much for the support. As of right now, I have 99 subs. The support's been insane. I've been loving this. You guys are unreal, and to think that I'm one sub away from hitting my first milestone is crazy. So thank you so much. This is going to be a quick video. I know that there are some spoiler videos out there, but thanks for clicking mine. This is going to be like sort of a rapid fire take because there's not too many cards, and I don't want to go too in depth, but there's some general consensus I want to sort of share with you as I sort of quickly go through on the website here. So the first card is kind of a weird one to start with, but since it is first, this is what's called, I believe, a special guest. So there's going to be like these random cards that come in the packs as well. It's not playable in standard from what I understand, but I think you can use it in the new format, Timeless, and perhaps some other ones. But I'll just quickly read it. You can suspend it for 4, so interesting. We might have some in the standard set, some suspend cards. Rather than cast this card from your hand, pay a green and exile it with 4 time counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, you remove a time counter. Wow! And then when the last one is removed, you can cast it, and it creates 2 4/4s with trample. So that's pretty good. Let's keep going, though. This is a new 2-drop in white, exile target attacking creature. Clean card. I think this is pretty usable. The exile clause is obviously really good. There is a lot of graveyard recursion in standard right now, so this can be a pretty relevant add. This is a cute little card. It's a clue equipment, so a little bit of a new type there. I believe we've had clues before, but not that I've played with in standard anyway. So anyway, I could be wrong with that. I'm not too much of an expert when it goes beyond a few years, but whenever the equipped creature dies, each opponent loses a life, and then when you sacrifice it, you draw a card, and you can equip it for 2. It might be okay if you have a way of cheapening the equip cost, right? Cool stuff there. I will jump down to this creature here, Senator Peacock in the center. So artifacts you control are clues in addition to their other types and have 2 mana of any color. Sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. So that's pretty nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much turning everything into a clue token. So if you have a bunch of treasure tokens, well, now you can draw with them, assuming you've ramped a lot with your lands, because you're going to now not have access to the treasure mana. But there could be ways of just creating a bunch of little cheap artifact tokens. In fact, I know of tons of ways. I have a few decks with like third path Iconoclast that's going to be in standard still. So this could be interesting because whenever you sacrifice a clue, target creature can't be blocked this turn. So that's kind of the main sauce there for you. Pretty good card, but it is 5 mana, so that remains to be seen. So interestingly, we have a Gruul card that you can investigate in the dining room, which is pretty cool. I like the flavor of this card quite a bit. Obviously, the idea is, I like that it's green and red card, and everyone comes together, and if you really want, right, you can investigate by talking to people at the dinner table. So that's pretty on flavor. Big fan of that. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a Gruul deck that sort of a control late game deck that could take advantage of that. It'd be interesting. Now, Steam Vents, will say a little thing about me here. I actually had a Steam Vents when I first started playing Magic. I didn't realize how good it was or that it was valuable at all. And I traded it for what I believe is called a Steel Leaf Champion. It's the 3 green mana, 3-drop. It's like a 5/4 vanilla creature, I believe. There might be some upside that's like super obscure, that's like elf related. But yeah, that creature, because I was like, wow, it's a 5/4 for 3. And it was just like 3 green mana, so it looked really cool. And anyway, I traded Steve Vents for that. Not my best trade, guys. That's been IRL. Magic the Gathering was so cool. It still is. In fact, I'm going to go to my Friday Night Magic soon, so I hope you guys do the same. Magnifying Glass. Not very good. I do not like this. For 3 mana, it can ramp you. It's a mana rock for 3. I think you would use the Celestis over this, though. In most cases, I don't typically use mana rocks, especially in the 3-drop slot, but hey, you know, it could be pretty good in some control decks. And the fact that it just does create clues. If there really is a lot of clue synergy, could be really good. So up next, 4-drop boy, Curious Cadaver. When you sacrifice a clue, you return it from the graveyard to your hand. You will basically always have this guy in your hand in a clue deck, right? Almost always. So if you have 4 mana, boom. Say you get to 6 mana and you have a bunch of 2-drop interactive spells, well, you can continuously lay this guy if he keeps dying, and sacrificing clues for 2 mana, things like that. So pretty cool card to think about. Not amazing or anything. The 3/1 body is not crazy, but it does have the flying. So whenever Benthic Criminologist enters the battlefield or attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, you draw a card. So it's 5 mana. Can this be usable? It is a wizard, or sorry, rather, more importantly, a merfolk wizard. And, yeah, when enters the battlefield or attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, you draw. I mean, it's enter, it's ETB, and it's attack. It could be good if you want to sacrifice artifacts, but other than that, it's probably just a limited comment. Okay, anyway, let's keep it going. Hot Shot Investigators. By the way, sorry about the lighting. I know my lighting isn't so amazing, but these boys, these hot shots here, they come in like, yo, what's up? We're the Blue Man group. Return another target creature to its owner's hand, so it could be yours or the opponent's. If you controlled it, investigate. So if it's yours, you get a clue. It's 6 mana. Wow, I didn't even realize that when I initially brought it up here. So this is pretty trash. Even in limited, probably not that great, but could be. Out Cold. Wow, the spell cannot be countered. I mean, that could be relevant. It could be. Tap up to 2 target creatures and put a stun counter on each of them. Investigate. Now, I kind of like the fact, I like 2 creatures. I like the stun counters. I like that you get some board presence. It could be good in a very specific type of deck, but not too overwhelming or anything. Topiary Panther. Flavor on point, art on point, super dope. Basic land cycling. Discard this card. Search your library for a land card. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be the forest. If you're new to that, it's just basic land cycling. So cool. Trample 6/5. It is a cat, and there is actually a cat that can standard with that aura, that like 2-drop white aura cat, and I believe there might be another cat permanent that does care about the cat tribal thing. It could be just like one singular card though, that might not be too good. But if there is a cat deck, this could go in, could be kind of cool. 6/5 trample body is not too bad. And the fact that you can discard it, put it in the graveyard in a Golgari deck, and bring it back relatively early could be good. Burden of Proof. Let's go. Flash enchant creature. We like flash enchantments. And that gets +2/+2 as long as it's a detective. Detective Tribal could be good because of this. Otherwise, it has base power 1/1 and can't block detectives. Huh. Okay, so basically you can use it as a minimalizing, sort of neutralizing spell, right? You turn one of their things into a 1/1 that can't block your detectives, or you buff up your detective that you already have. So you can use it, and it's called Burden of Proof. That is a very well-named card. The art is cool. It's an abstract concept that they're sort of trying to capture here. Very much like this. A very, one of the better cards that we've seen. Is that an uncommon? Yeah, so this is an uncommon. It's hard to tell. Deduce. We are deducing. So it's 2 mana. You draw a card, investigate. I don't know if this is a reprint. I really don't. Don't laugh at me. It sounds like one. I couldn't imagine that Deduce hasn't been printed, like just a simple name like that, but maybe. And yeah, you create it. So clue token, clue synergy. Artifact decks are going to go crazy. So over here, we're going to demand some answers. We are just in a demanding state of mind. What can I say? As an additional cost, you sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. Now I like that. I like that quite a bit because it's 2 mana in red, draw 2, and you can easily turn both of those into an upside because artifacts have a lot of weird like sacrifice triggers. Also, there's just tons of graveyard recursion. So either way, sacrifice an artifact or discarding a big like Etali into the graveyard and bringing it back with the Fossilize for 5 mana. Like I've been doing quite a bit in my standard games, or various other ways, can be good. So this is obviously a very strong card. This one is not to be overlooked. In fact, I think Demand Answers might be like the best card we've seen so far. Okay, Gleaming Gear Drake. This is really good. When I first started playing Magic, I would overlook cards like this. When it enters the battlefield, you investigate. So like, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, you put a counter on it. That's kind of cool if you have tons of artifacts. but more importantly is you're getting 2 artifacts for 2 mana. So it's just a sort of simple way of, you know, if you really need the clue, you can use the clue thing, great, or just 2 artifact permanents that you can sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. And then also, being that we've already seen some sacrifice artifact synergy, I imagine this deck's going to be filled with it. You can just get counters on your flyer, which is very nice. Now, by the way, there has been some art. Wow, this is actually really freaking cool. Gleaming Gear. I'm a fan of these. Some people are calling these cartoony and stupid. Yo, let them try something else. This game has been out 30 years. I think this is dope. I'm not critical of this at all. I think it's like weird and anime vibey, which I can tell they're trying to like maybe appeal to a younger audience for sure with this one, but it's totally okay with me. I think it's cool. So I probably could have looked at some of the art for those, but I do want to keep the video as concise as possible for everyone. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, investigate. So we are investigating the heck out of this manor, dude. This manor doesn't know what's happening. 4/5 for haste for 5. Obviously better 5 drops. If you have Bone Horror Dracosaur, I would imagine you play that over this. This does have haste, though. There's not too many haste creatures, so, I mean, like, it could be relevant in the weirdest of decks. Fanatical Strength. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. That is pretty good, though. Yo, dude, I'm a huge... I don't know if there's this exact ratio with trample, instant speed, +3/+3. This could be really good. This could be really good depending on the other instants and stuff available. I haven't looked at all of them, and they're not... You know, I've messed around with a lot of aggro decks. Illuminary Virtuoso, Monastery Swiftspear. Both of these come to mind. A Naya deck, an aggro Naya deck with both of those creatures in this card could be really good. Yeah, this could be nice. This could be nice. We are getting through it, guys. We're not too far. We're over halfway. We're going to get to better cards here right about now. But the Lightning Helix, you deal 3, you gain 3. What's up? Any target, pretty good. Yeah, this can be really good right now. I think that the rate of 2 mana for 3 damage is still pretty relevant. There's a lot of power creep in Magic, but it's still pretty on point is what I'm saying, and there's just an upside. And I don't think it's too hard when you're playing Boros, which is a really good color combination right now, to cast that on turn 2 or whatever. So, and yeah, you know, with the what's the card? The Elephant, Quintorius Khan, right? Even more life gain, even more residual survivability against mono red and stuff. So you can finally get to that 5 mana and cast that. We will look at this art down there, which looks cool. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent may sacrifice 2 non-land, non-token permanentos. I'm sorry, that is not permanent in any language that I know of. I'm almost positive. If they don't, you draw 2 cards. So yeah, that basically says, hi, I'm a 6/6 flying trample, which is a vibe. And then it forces your opponent to sacrifice 2 non-token permanents. What? If you don't, you draw 2 cards. This is hella good, man. Rakdos, the boy. Yeah, this is Rakdos in his final form. Wow, the Patron of Chaos. Like, this is an amazing card, obviously. It's a mythic. Let's look at the art. Woo! Okay, the art's a little underwhelming. See, I like this one like a lot less. But it's cool because it still fits the theme and it encompasses like the borders, like the coolest part to me here. I like the chains being broken and stuff. Okay, so it's not as... Oh, here's this. Actually, yeah, see, this art is even better. See, I like this even more. Oh, an actual signatory of the original guild pack, over 10,000 years old, but doesn't look a day over 2005. Hundo. This reminds me of, what was it, the Rune Scarred Demon, the 6/6 flyer, but you would search you a card. It has just like an amazing upside, so obviously going to be good. Always going to be a fan of 6/6 flyer boys. This one has trample and Rune Scar did not. So, Aurelia, very important card in the set. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. Not so hard to do at all in these colors. When a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, you ping them. You do a lightning helix. It has flying, vigilance, and haste, all very relevant. An evasive ability, You know, being able to block small creatures on the return is super good because you don't want to go fully aggro. You kind of risk blocking with your 5-drop, but that's okay because you make a safe draw, a safe block, and then you have to invest some mana into taking this out. So either way, hard to remove, and the haste, of course, is huge. So yeah. Sorry, I don't know what that noise was, but wow, look at that art. Interesting. Yeah, so this one's not as good. This one is kind of corny. Yeah, see, this one, I could see the argument. Not so great. The more I look at them, the more I'm like, I wish there was only like a few like that. Guess there's going to be a ton. Shock is back. Don't even need to bring this one up. But I did. So there it is. Shock. I like the art. Novice Inspector. Enters the battlefield. You investigate. Holy guacamole. Some more clue token synergy. And, of course, this one here is just, you know, a 1/2. It's a human, and it is a detective. I think the creature types are going to be the most relevant part of this. And mono white humans is already good, so, you know. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate one or more for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. So, I mean, is that good? I mean, I don't necessarily like this that much. Do you guys like this? I don't think it's too good. 2/4. The angel type is probably good, and the detective type, if it's the staple flyer for the detective deck, I could see that. The vigilance is really good with 4 toughness, and then basically like if you're against control or anything like that, you're just going to be getting residual or permanence that you can sacrifice, things like that. Actually, this is probably busted. This is probably busted. I changed my mind completely. This art's a lot better. I like it a lot. I like this text at the bottom, kind of brings it all together. A great boon to have an angel on hand, but highly suspect. She reports information to Aurelia before us. Aurelia, the queen. Okay, so I guess I'll keep it going because we are at the lands. That's the last one, y'all. What do you know? We'll look at the art at the very end, and I do appreciate you guys if you have made it this far into the video. I keep slouching in my chair, which is very loud. This guy probably killed everybody at the manor, right? This guy is probably the one that everyone's trying to find, and he is a detective himself. I bet you that he's the guy that did it. I have heard that take elsewhere on the internet, but I think it makes the most sense. When you enter the battlefield, you investigate. Enter ETB triggers and Elish Norn. I can see Elish Norn, detective, clue, triggers being really good. There's a lot of like ETB cards I would imagine that are going to make clues. I believe there's already some in standard, yeah. And then sacrifice a clue for what appears to be a weird amount of mana. Oh, so yeah, X mana. So that's good. Late in the game, say you have 6 mana, you draw 3 cards, right? Cost 3 and then X can be 3. Woo! And you're gaining more life, so keeping you alive against all of the aggro that has flooded standard. Yeah, I hugely appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to keep my eye out for more spoilers. This is pretty much everything so far, though. And I'm making a bunch of standard lists, so I hope you keep an eye out for that. And thanks for all the support recently. But let's look at this art. Cool, very, very cool. That is that. And let's go down him, and we will be like, wow. So all of these are essentially like clusters of city. Yeah, like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't really like these lands at all, actually, but here they are. The swamp one's probably the best down there. So yeah, Light No Fire, looking cool, making more content about that. Of course, Magic the Gathering and Pokemon videos soon. So much love, you guys. Stay safe out there. Good luck on the arena. I will see you next time. It's your boy Zach. I guess Zachy Wacky, which is awkward to say out loud, but it's true. Don't forget. All right. Or forget. It's up to you.